Well, thanks guys for coming down. I will be brief. Tonight's speech will cover my personal mantra, which is the 5 P's. The 5 P's of speaking. Be brief, brother, be brief. So that's going to be tonight's mantra. I think everyone that was before me did an amazing job in sharing with you guys, great stories, empowering stories, inspirational stories, and, at the end of the day, all the information in the world is irrelevant. What's happening in people's lives is what's important, right? And what you just saw is an example, a sample of stories that are happening by the truckload, by the thousands, by the tens of thousands, all across the country, Canada, Jamaica, Puerto Rico, you name it. And it's one of those things where it's like, technically, we'll ask us and says, success may vary, and not all stories are like this one. But at the same time, there sure are a heck of a lot of them. And there's a lot of them right here in your hometown and your home state, and again, all across the country. Matt and I are very excited to have you guys here tonight, but we're a lot more excited to invite you to Cincinnati. I will openly share with you the reason why I opened my home up tonight was a lot less to talk to you about what you saw on the DVD, or a lot less to have you guys try to shake or snurl, though it is delicious. The reason why I wanted you guys to come by tonight is to talk to you about Cincinnati. Right. And it's hard to get across to somebody, why they need to be there without over-promoting and overselling, I guess. But, when you think of, I'll share it with you in 2 ways. Some of you here are very logical creatures. Some of you here are very emotional creatures. Meaning some of you are left-brained, and some of you are right-brained. Right-brained are those logical, analytical, balance my checkbook people. By a show of hands, how many of you are right-brained people? One of you. Excellent. And you raised your hand. Okay, the rest of you, how many of you are more left-brained, creative, out of box thinkers? The rest of you guys didn't raise your hand, are no-brain people? All right, right-brain people. Right-brain people, let me share with you guys something. Here's why you need to be in Cincinnati. First of all, you may be very skeptical, and every ounce of information that you will be looking for will be found there. The founders will be there, the management team will be there, the scientific advisory board will be there, the top producers will be there, all the body-by-body champions will be there, the new champions will be crowned. What else? The top moneyers will be there, the top trainers will be there. We're going to have workshops on specific topics, science, Facebook marketing, women's leadership, building as a couple, tax breaks, etc., etc., etc. So these are some of the things that we're going to cover from an informational perspective, and these are some of the people that you're going to get meet from an ask questions perspective. But here's why, logically, you need to be here, right-brain people. Your brain works, all of our brains work the exact same way. Our beliefs determine our actions, and our actions determine our results. That statement is not up for debate. That is a fact. Your belief determines your actions determine your results. True or true? True. True. Not arguable statement. So if your belief about something is small, then your actions would be small, and your results would be what? Small. So what are beliefs based on? Well, that's a tremendous question, because beliefs are based on something. They're based on references. That's it. They're based on references. The more references you have about something, the greater beliefs that you have. The less references you have about something, the lower beliefs that you have. That's it. I'll give you an example. Raise your hand if tonight you will leave this room with a greater sense of belief to the positive about what the body-by-body challenge is. Even if it's one reference, right? That's the point in case. You got about 10 references tonight, and your belief went 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So your belief went up a little. So that means your action might go up a little, and your results might go up a little. But what if I could take about 3,500 references, put them in one room at one time, and allow you to ask them anything you wanted to ask them, so that you could get the answer that you wanted, so that your brain could go reference, 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 a year, 2 years, 3 years to get 3,500 references. I can give them to you in 48 hours. But you've got to, I can't bring them to your house, I'm sorry. You've got to come to where they're all going to be. And if you're at where they are at, here's what will happen. You're going to have 3,500 references that's going to create a belief that's 350 times greater than tonight, which is going to create actions that are 350 times greater than tonight, and create results that are, guess what, 350 times greater than tonight. So it's not that we're trying to get you there because we're going to sprinkle magical pixie dust on your head. What's going to happen is you're going to get all the references at once. Now, for those of you guys who are like to save time, raise your hand if you really like to save time in life, right? Your time, I hate wasting time. One of my biggest pet peeves, okay? If you hate to waste time and you maybe are quasi-skeptical, you got a lot of questions, spend the 2 days to save yourself 5 months. Right. Because if you go there and you hate everyone, this is not for you. Well, what if you linger around for 5 months not knowing? You know what I mean? It's like we might as well save you the time. It's all there, packaged up, you're in, you're out, you know. If you were going to buy a franchise for $200,000 and they say we need you at this orientation to evaluate it all and see the whole pitch and meet the founders, would you go? Yes. If that was in the cards for you to potentially purchase that franchise, yes, you would. Now, if you did purchase it, now this is for those of you guys who are already involved in the company. If you did purchase a franchise and they said, this is your orientation, would you show up? Yes. You got $200,000 on the line. Let me tell you about the best thing about our business. The best thing about it is it's very, very low capital investment. That's the best thing about it. Let me tell you the worst thing about it. It's very, very low capital investment. Some of you will use the same reason that you got in, the same reason why you didn't do it. Oh, it's not that expensive, I'm going to get involved. Oh, it's not that expensive, I'm not going to do anything. I'm going to write this down or mentally write this down. If you treat this like a hobby, it will pay you like a hobby. If you treat this like a business, it will pay you like a business. How many of you have recognized that your hobbies tend to cost you money as opposed to making money? So if you want this to cost you money, treat it like a hobby. But if you want it to make you money, treat it like a business. And ever since I was 19 years old, I did not play around with this. I didn't play around with it. I treated it like a real business. Somebody said to me, they said the same example I said to you. They said, if you spent $250,000 on this, how serious would you take it? Would you show up every day? Would you get to the training lessons? Would you learn from the people? And they're like, heck yeah. Well, then why would you not do that for a situation where the first $250,000 that you make you get to keep, as opposed to just getting back to even, right? Do you got to be in debt $250,000 to go to work on it? Well, if that's the case, then I'll give it to me, I'll hold it for you for a couple of years. And then let's go to work, right? The point I'm getting at is I want you guys to treat this like a business. Now again, I am talking aggressively about the business aspect tonight because I opened my home up for one reason only, and that was to talk about Cincinnati. See guys, I'm not impacted in whether or not you show up in Cincinnati at all. If you said to me tonight, Nick, I can join or I can go to Cincinnati, and I can't do both, I say go to Cincinnati. Without a shadow of doubt. I'm impacted by the way you join, but I'm not impacted if you go to Cincinnati. But I'm telling you, go to Cincinnati. I don't own an airline or a gas company. I mean, I don't get paid off that, but I recommend that it's more important that you go there. Here's why. You may sign up tonight and not go to Cincinnati, I may never see you again. But I know if you go to Cincinnati, then I'm going to see you again and you're probably going to sign up. That's what I know. So, by all means necessary. The good news is today's Monday. You look like you're sick already. I can see you coming out. You got a little scratchy voice tomorrow. But if you're not comfortable with that, just stay up really late tonight, go sing karaoke, and you get around people that smoke like crazy, and your voice will be gone. Show up to work tomorrow, but my voice is gone. I need a weekend off. Whatever you have to do to get to this event. If you got kids, Raise your hand if you have kids in this room. Wow, that's about 70% of the room. Everyone else has your problem too. Guess what? They solved the problem. By the way, raise your hand if this may be a personal question, but raise your hand if you're not in a situation you got tons of extra cash laying around. Who doesn't have tons? Guess what? That's everyone's problem. Okay? Get there. Find the solution. Here's what people love to do in life. Focus on the problem. I'm just going to focus on the problem. I'm going to be miserable and focus on the problem, right? And if you always focus on the problem, you'll never get away from that problem. The crazy thing, as soon as you focus on the solution, the Hibbers told their story about losing weight earlier, and they're like, we finally got sick and tired of the problem and stopped focusing and wallowing in the problem and started looking for a solution. And boom, great things happen. The same is the case about your finances. Carpool. The great thing about it is you guys are within driving distance. Most marketplaces, there are literally people coming from Alaska and New Brunswick and Hawaii and Jamaica and everywhere in between, right? Everywhere in between, all coming to Cincinnati, Ohio. So, whatever you have to do to make the adjustments, I'll close with this. When I was 19, I lived in Grand Rapids, Michigan, and I was told to get to a national event just like Dale told the story. Very similar. And, except I think it's a honeymoon suite.
Jealous, aren't you?
Yeah. It's one of our, so it's now. So I was told to go to the national convention from Grand Rapids, Michigan, like you guys, except I could not afford the ticket because it was in Atlanta, Georgia. I couldn't afford the airline ticket. So they convinced me to drive, but I couldn't afford the gas. So I had to drive with 5 of us, but no one else wanted to drive their car, so we drove my car, which was a 2-door Escort. So we drove 5 people, 2-door Escort, 16 hours, August, 86 degrees, no air conditioning, true story. So, true story. But it was the most important decision I had ever made of my life up until that point. They say that there's 6 decisions that you'll make that'll shape your entire life. 6. That was absolutely, positively one of those decisions. Because when I got there, it made sense. I got those references. By the way, I forgot to talk to the non-logical people in the room. Non-logical people, I can say to you in a sentence. Raise your hand if you've ever been to a great concert before. Raise your hand if you ever listened to that same performer on CD later. Yeah. Did you have the same experience on CD? Nope. I cannot bottle up an experience on a flip cam and go, oh, check it out. And you're going to get the same experience as everyone else. It's never going to happen. Nobody can tell you what happened. They're trying to tell you what happened at a concert. Well, there's this guy, and he sang the song that we all know, but you were there, so I can't explain it to you, right? See, it's not something that can be re-explained to you. It's something that must be experienced. So whether you need 3,500 references for your logic, or whether you need the experience of the, you need to be there to experience it because you're more of a right-brain person, whatever it takes, get there, by all means necessary. So, with that, my closing thought. Right now, you're one of 3 types of people. First, that person says, hey, I'm not really interested in the challenge.